You're watching Tea and Poetry with Dave Steele, the blind poet.
There he is.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, Dave.
Do you know what? For a split second there, I had to work out whether Sam was actually there or a giant poster behind you.
Well, that's what I said.
Look who's here behind me.
Like that giant poster right there.
Like that giant poster. Look at this real life poster here.
Hey, Diane.
Hey, how are you?
So good to see you all.
Good to see you as well. It's great to be here. As I mentioned to you, Dave, earlier, I am only popping in for just a few moments. I'm going to hand over the reins to you. But for those of you who are not aware, I am standing next to my good friend Sam Seavey from The Blind Life. So if you haven't already heard of The Blind Life, please go ahead and check out that channel. It's a very popular YouTube channel.
Yeah, check it out.
Check it out. The
Absolutely.
Blind Life.
Yes.
It's an awesome channel. And by the way, we just had a regular TM Poetry guest who happened to be from Missouri, who happened to stop by. She's like, I listen to you guys all the time. I'm there Wednesday. I said, well, I'm about to start it right now. So
Awesome.
yes. So so we are in Southern California in Anaheim. We are attending the CSUN conference and everything about assistive technology and more that goes on here.
Having a great time. Meeting lots of cool people.
We are. Sam is at the new Blind Show USA booth, which is there he is.
A big picture of my man Justin behind there.
Yep. And I am here with Diane at the Low Vision Shop booth. And it's been quite a busy show. It's a little quiet right now. Just give everyone a little bit of 360 here. What's going on?
If you're in the Anaheim area, come out
Come
and
on
say
down.
hello.
Yeah, booth number
Absolutely.
416. Yeah. You do have to pre-register, so
But you can do it at the event.
I think so.
Yep.
I think so. So
And we're here till Friday.
we are here till Friday. So So I want to welcome everyone, of course, as always, to TM Poetry. I'm going to be handing over the ring. Good morning. I want to give a shout out to Ken, all the way in Australia. It's great to see Travis out there and some other new faces as well. And sorry I will not be able to stay with you guys for too long, but I wanted to at least get the party started. And I missed everyone. Of course, we all missed everyone last week. I want to let Dave talk about that event. It sounded like it was incredible. And, not next week, but the week after should be interesting. So I just want to remind everyone for the next hour, we will be talking everything about poetry, sight loss, and everything in between. I'm sure you have some great stuff lined up for today. Hopefully you can hear me as well, that I'm actually talking. Don't have my headphones with me. And I love that shirt that you are wearing. I love it. Looks really nice. A werewolf gear. Love it. Flagship tee. Navy blue. Love it. One of my favorites. And so I'm going to hand it over. I just want to remind everyone that you can connect as far as you can share comments in. Dave, you see the comments in the chat, right?
I can do. We need to turn on captions if you could do that for me first of all. And if you can turn on cameras. I know we're going to be a little bit light tonight. I did send messages out, but the clocks have gone forward in the US, but they haven't gone forward here. So it's actually 8 p.m. here instead of 9 p.m. I have kind of put messages out. So there are going to be a few people who have not seen the message that will be unaware. But for anyone in the UK, we are slightly earlier today.
Yes. And who is that in the chat? Hey, Cynthia. Good to see you as well. So what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and let me see if I can enable everyone's. We've done in the past month plus. We have been enabling everyone's camera so we can all see each other or be more of a community. So I am going to promote everyone to a panelist. If
just make sure you mute it.
Yeah, just keep it muted, and it'll be a lot easier to connect with you should you want to join. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Just promoting everyone here. It's a little slower, but we're doing it. Just bear with me a moment here.
Nice to see Doreen out there as well.
Yes, Doreen, welcome. And Dave, do you know how to, when I leave here in a moment, do you know how to promote everyone to panelists when they come on?
I do.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, great. So I am going to hand over the reins. Here's Jennifer. Not too far from Jennifer. All right. Okay, Dave, I'm going to hand over the reins to you now. And I am officially going to make you the host. Yes, I'm making you the host. And just happy to see you. Be back. Look forward to next week. But I will be back in for the full hour. And I will hand it over to you.
See you, Dave.
Thanks, Sam.
Have a great event.
Yeah, see you soon. See you soon.
Diane says goodbye here as well.
Bye, Dave. Bye.
See you soon.
I see. All right. Be well. Enjoy.
So, welcome to another week of Tea and Poetry. If we remember rightly, a few weeks ago when Barry wasn't here, I can't remember, he was away somewhere and it was just us. We had an amazing week where we talked about, what advice would you give your younger self if you can kind of speak to them. So I'm really confident that we're going to have a great hour. That always goes really, really fast. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that's tuned in again. For those people in the UK that did get my message, that the time has changed because America have gone an hour forward, and we'll play catch up with them in just a couple of weeks' time. It's good to see you here. But yeah, it's been obviously we had no Tea and Poetry last week. I was out at a concert. I don't mind admitting, very drunk, but it doesn't happen very often. But it was a great gig, and it's nice to be back. And actually, the fact that I wasn't here with Tea and Poetry last week, that we didn't have this hour, means actually I've got about maybe twice, 3 times the amount of poetry that I would normally read, because I've just been writing. I've got a lot of stuff kind of happening over the next couple of weeks. As Barry rightly said, we've got some really big announcements to come. We've got some amazing things that are going to be happening over the next couple of weeks that we're going to be able to talk about, and that I'm going to be able to share with you guys as the weeks go on. Next week is going to be the last one. No, in fact, no, it's not actually. We've got next week is the build up to the Rnib Awards on the Tuesday, the 29th of March, which is not next Tuesday, the Tuesday after. I'm going to be heading down to London for a very glitzy kind of night at this beautiful venue in the centre of London, right near Trafalgar Square, for the Rnib, the Royal National Institute for the Blind See Differently Awards, where I'm up for the category of best social media impacts, up against a couple of amazing people as well. So it's going to be a great night to go and to be surrounded by really, amazing, inspirational people. And it's going to be lovely actually going to an event and knowing that the kind of, I can just sit and relax and enjoy it. I don't have to go up and speak on stage, which is normally a thing for me when I go to events. So that's on the Tuesday, not next Tuesday, the Tuesday after. And then I'll come back to Manchester from London on the Wednesday. And then early hours of the Thursday morning, I'm going to be flying out to California, to San Francisco, to speak. And I believe I can announce it now, actually, because we've been waiting to announce this. I am giving the keynote I'm the keynote speaker at an amazing event at a place called Half Moon Bay. It's the Ritz-Carlton Half Moon Bay for Foundation Fighting Blindness, for an event they're doing called Investing in Cures Summit. Now, this event was virtual last year and the year before because of COVID. The last time they did it in person was in 2019. It actually was at Half Moon Bay at the Ritz-Carlton, and my good friends Brad and Brian Manning, two blind brothers, were the keynote speakers that night. But this year it's going to be myself speaking in front of all the people from Foundation Fighting Blindness, their kind of major donors, and a lot of world-renowned specialists and doctors from the kind of biotechnology and retinal side. So people who are really at the forefront of cures, and a lot of different organizations and companies that are going to be attending that as well. So a really amazing opportunity to speak and read poetry and kind of tell my story. And I've written something specially for the event as well. So that's going to be happening not next week, but the week after. I fly out on the Thursday, I speak on the Friday night, and then I fly back to the UK on the Sunday. So it's going to be a really busy week. And then obviously tea and poetry the week after that, we're going to be able to speak about everything that's going on and share with you some of the stories and experiences from that trip. So it's going to be amazing. I really can't wait, as always, to share this stuff with you. So before we kind of get interactive, I'm going to open as we normally do with a piece of poetry. And I've got several to read tonight. I don't know if I'll read them all just yet, depending on how we go. But this one I wrote a few days ago, and a lot of the poetry I've written over the last few days has had a really incredible response on social media. And I know, as always, there's going to be a lot of you out there that will relate to these words. So yeah, I'm going to read this for you. Here we go. Let me say this loud and clear, so there's no doubt you'll understand. Although you're going blind and life won't always go as planned, today can still be anything that you choose it to be. There's beauty in this world that you don't need clear sight to see. There's nothing that you can't achieve with hard work and support. And just as long as you believe, your mind's vision won't be short. Because of what we see inside our mind can be, because what we see inside our mind can be reality. And hidden in that word, they say, you'll find ability. I know that there is work to do to change the way they view the conditions that disable instead of seeing me and you. The rate of unemployment is too high, and that's a fact. The time is now to change this, and it's up to us to act. Let's change the misconceptions that perceive us as no use, the lack of education that once made me a recluse, ashamed to use my cane because I looked them in the eyes, yet blindness is a spectrum, their opinions please revise. Instead of making judgments, they could just politely ask how the things that take for granted might for us feel like a task. How 75% of us with disability, our symptoms are invisible, they simply cannot see. So let me say this loud and clear, I hope the whole world hears. The message in this poetry can erase our anxious fears. So one day in the future, our inclusivity won't ever be the price we pay with disability. Barb's on. I do want to talk to Barb quickly if she's able to talk, because we've been working on something this week and I really want to tell you about it. Barb, are you there? Do you want to unmute yourself? Okay, well, if she's not, I will fill in and explain. So those of you that were on Tea and Poetry last week will remember that we came up with an idea, and it was from something that happened a couple of weeks ago now, where myself and Barb Calhoun, who has been a great supporter of mine for quite a few years now, from West Virginia, spoke at a school in her area about Austin's amazing adventures. Now, obviously, I wasn't there in person. We did it virtual via Zoom, and we got to speak to the children, talk about the book, talk about how the story really educates people about low vision and blindness, and helps the children understand other kids, not just with low vision and blindness better, but with disability and different challenges better, and how it really teaches inclusion, and how there's a real need for this, not just around the world, but in schools specifically, because there's a lot of social barriers that children with disabilities and different challenges still faced needlessly. And that is what these books are all about. So Barb took it upon herself to get in touch with her local school and was invited to come in and speak about the books. And then I came in virtually and we did a talk with the children and asked some questions. And it was a really great response from the kids as well. So this is something that I've done lots here in the UK already since the release of Austin's Amazing Adventures in person. For World Book Day a few weeks ago, those of you who are on Team Poetry, a regular, might remember that I was in my son Austin's school, and both me and Austin did a talk with all the different year groups in his school. It was incredible. And yeah, more schools are doing it and taking it upon themselves. So last week on Tea and Poetry, I think it was last week or the week before, but yeah, I think it pretty much was last week, we came up with this idea whilst on here about doing something called Austin's Amazing Ambassadors. Now, this is going to be a program that we're going to be starting and getting live over the coming weeks, where we're going to invite people like yourself to go into your local communities and raise awareness, not just about Austin's Amazing Adventures, but about low vision and blindness using that story. And now this could be at a local organization, a local charity, a local school, a local library. But we're going to be releasing some more information on how you can do that, and if you really want to become one of Austin's Amazing Ambassadors over the coming weeks. So I just wanted to kind of announce that tonight, because we have these great ideas and we have these moments on Tea and Poetry where these kind of things happen, and it's great, these things happening, but you've got to kind of execute them and act on them and grow them, and that is certainly what we try and do with things like that. So I just wanted to announce that because I saw Barb's name on. Barb is kind of being the front runner with this, and she's really going out there and going to make this a thing that's going to be right across the US and here in the UK as well. So Austin's Amazing Ambassadors program will be coming soon. We were recording videos for it for like the promo literally over the weekend, and myself and Austin kind of just did it over the weekend. Austin did it in one take, typical Austin, and Barb was messaging me trying to pick outfits and doing her hair, and but it's going to look amazing. So I can't wait to kind of share more details about Austin's Amazing Ambassadors over the coming weeks. So lots and lots of exciting stuff. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me see who's out there. If there's anyone that wants to come on and talk, I know Travis has already raised his hand, but if anyone else wants to come on after Travis, because we're going to get Travis on in just a second, please do raise your hand. I want to hear about what's going on in your world this week as well, because this is what the community is all about, and we're going to share some poetry as well. Next week it is National Poetry Day as well. It's a National Poetry Day. It's World Poetry Day, which is on the 21st, which I believe is Monday, I think. Let me just double check. Hang on a second. Yeah, next Monday. Next Monday's World Poetry Day. So I'm going to be doing lots of stuff on social media for that. I just recorded an interview with Rnib Radio the other day, so lots to kind of go on that. I'd also like to say, before we get Travis on, a massive thank you to everyone over the last week or so who sent messages, both on here and on social media, to my personal Facebook, about the passing of my mum, just not last week but the week before. Thank you very much for that. It really meant the world. But let's move on and let's get Travis on and get the usual greeting from Travis. So just bear with me 1 second. Travis, do you want to unmute yourself? I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself.
You are watching live team coverage right here, right now on Tea and Poetry Radio, brought to you by the Low Vision Shop, located in Baltimore, Maryland, and Miami, Florida. Kellogg cereal, featuring your well-known breakfast cereal for many years. Audi, featuring the all-new Audi e-tron all-electric vehicle. Sedona Dave's Tours, featuring Sedona Dave in Sedona, Arizona. Valley Metro Transportation, well-known bus service in Maricopa County, Arizona.
Travis, how the devil are you?
Good. How about you, Mr. Dave Steele?
I'm good. Did you miss us last week? Did you miss us not being on? Was Wednesday a little more empty?
You know what? I did, but I was able to do some other things. But I'll bet you had a grand old time at the concert.
We did. It was only a small gig. It was probably about 100 people. But the guy we went to see is a guy called Tim Gallagher, and he's a British singer. He's actually from Manchester as well. I actually found him on TikTok of all places.
Oh, nice.
He's one of these singers that kind of does covers of songs, and he went viral. And he's built quite a following around the world. But yeah, we saw him last week. It was great. And actually, he's just signed his first record deal with Sony Records. So expect him to kind of get very big very quickly, because this guy is, he's literally incredible.
Oh, nice.
And I actually got to I got to meet him after the show. We went before the concert. We went to a bar just kind of around the corner. We found this beautiful place called the Secret Garden, and it was kind of like it was like through a little door that was kind of hidden, and then you went in, and it was all beautiful kind of trees and like an indoor kind of garden.
Nice.
And cocktail bar, and I had a few cocktails, so I was quite on my way drunk by the time I actually got to the gig. And then when the concert finished, I obviously was using my cane, and I just kind of took it upon myself, because I'd had a few drinks, to just kind of go backstage and just meet Tim. So I kind of got a couple of pictures with him and got to say hello and stuff. So it was great, a great night.
Nice.
How's your week been? Tell me what you've been up to.
My week has been great. Just been staying busy working at Home Depot, and so happy that we have more daylight hours now.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually, what's the weather like there at the moment?
The weather is really nice, and not only have I been enjoying taking walks in the neighborhood, I'm doing evening walks too.
Nice. I love nothing better than an evening walk when when it's quite light outside. We're still very dark nights here, quite early at the moment, but that'll change over the coming weeks. But there's nothing better, when you've got nice weather and the sun stays out, and it stays lighter a bit longer, and going for kind of evening walks. I love that.
Me too. Now I did get a notice on my phone. If all goes well, it's possible in the States that we could stay in daylight savings time permanently next year, starting in 2023, if all goes well.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, fingers crossed for that.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, look at the places like Alaska, for example. They're going to still have dark days. I mean, especially if you go to the North Pole, for instance.
Yeah. Not a place that I've had the opportunity to travel to, but who knows in the future?
No. Well, remember, Alaska, too, they get almost 24 hours of daylight in that longest day of the year when they get the midnight sun and all, too.
Yeah. I've seen lots about that on the TV.
Yep. So anyhow, but no, everything's been going well for me. I just can't believe it's March 16th and my dad's birthday is this Saturday, which we're going to be celebrating that.
And it sounds like you always seem to have something to celebrate out there, Travis. There's always something just around the corner, and that's exactly what life's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely. And he picked out his birthday menu. That's a good thing. He picked out his birthday menu.
Where are you going to eat?
We're going to cook here and have some friends over. We're going to have enchiladas and Spanish rice.
Nice.
We'll have some bacon wrapped dates and cheese and crackers. Plus, we're going to have my mom's homemade ice cream pie.
Sounds yummy.
It's really good. My mom makes some amazing ice cream pies.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful time for your dad's birthday. I'm sure you will. I hope you're going to be joining us next week, which will be the kind of last week before my travels start. I'm looking forward to being in California. Obviously, I'm not going to be too close to you, but I really can't wait to be, in your time zone and a lot closer than I've ever been in the next couple of weeks.
You know what? You're going to have fun. Unfortunately, I just don't know of any eateries in Half Moon Bay. Unfortunately, I really don't.
From what I see, the hotel where I'm staying, the Ritz-Carlton, the food there is supposed to be absolutely tremendous, and obviously being where it is, the seafood will be stunning as well. I'm sure we'll be fine for the weekend.
You know what? And I would think too, they probably have some alternate foods too for those who might have seafood allergies too.
Absolutely, yeah. The videos that I've seen, there's kind of like a full, a full kind of couple of restaurants with like full menu. They actually have guest chefs that come in from San Francisco. So nice. Yeah, it's going to be really good.
Awesome.
Okay, Travis, I'm going to send you back, but thank you as always for coming on and brightening up our lives as you do every week.
Hey, not a problem at all, Dave.
Thanks, Travis.
You're welcome.
Okay. If anyone else likes to come on, please do raise your hand. I'd like to kind of, I don't know, Philip out there. Hopefully going to be seeing Philip over the next couple of weeks. Oh, we've got Philip's got his hand up. Renee's got a hand up. That's good. We've got people wanting to. I'm going to go to Renee first of all. We'll get to you, Philip, next. I'm going to click that. Renee, you should be able to unmute yourself now, I think. Okay, right. We'll move on. We'll try Philip. Philip, are you there?
Hello, Dave.
Hey, there we go. That works straight away. Fantastic. Everybody. There we go. I can see you now as well.
All right.
Are you at the beach or is that a fake background?
It's a fake background. Oh, I am at the beach 24 hours 7.
I was on a Zoom call the other day, Philip, kind of a work thing, and there was a guy who had kind of one of these, superimposed backgrounds. And it was like I think it was like a computer game. It was like a kid's kind of Minecraft or something like that in the background. And, one of the other guys that was on the Zoom call said, oh, he's always putting on the kind of fake backgrounds, this guy. And I turned around and said, well, actually, my background here at the moment's fake. I'm actually at the beach at the moment, but I've got the background of my living room as the fake background.
That was a good one.
Yeah. How's your week been? Did you miss us last week?
Of course. I was on a Zoom meeting with my doctor, and I rushed, and I'm like, oh yes, it's 10 minutes after 1. I remember now they said they're not meeting. So I was like, I was disappointed, but here we are today.
Yeah. In fact, I think I saw a message from you. Did you message Barry, didn't you? Asking if we were on.
Correct.
Yeah. It was weird, obviously not being here last week. But it was great to kind of get a night out, and definitely with the last couple of weeks with, my mum passing and everything else. It's been kind of one thing after another. I was ill for just over a week with, I had bacterial pneumonia of all things, apparently. And then Austin just had chicken pox. And now my stepson Louis been off the last couple of days, so we seem to be all kind of getting something. But as long as we kind of get it all out the way before the San Francisco trip in a couple of weeks is the main thing as far as I'm concerned. I don't want any illness.
Oh wow, friend, you guys been busy. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a crazy busy week, but it was. I said we've got Team Poetry next week, which Barry's going to be here for the full hour, and then the week after. For Team Poetry is going to be a really exciting one because, as I said, the clocks go forward here in a couple of weeks, and not next week's tea and poetry, but the one after. They will have gone forward by then. But yeah, I'll be doing tea and poetry from 9 p.m. UK time till 10, and then trying to get some shut eye for a couple of hours before I leave for the airport at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, because I remember you leaving on Thursday.
Yeah, the flight is we fly from Manchester, out of Manchester at 6 a.m. And we go via Frankfurt in Germany. So I think the flight to Frankfurt is like 2 hours, and then we fly then from Frankfurt to San Francisco to SFO, which I believe is an 11.5-hour flight. So when we get into San Francisco at say 2:30, it's going to be kind of like 10:30 UK time. But then we'll have to kind of push through and stay awake as late as possible to kind of, adjust to the time before, checking into the hotel after we've been around San Francisco for a little while, and then obviously get to work on the Friday with the event.
Yeah, that's a very good plan. Yeah, pushing it and staying up until late in the morning to be sleepy. And
Yeah,
I was waiting. Sorry, go ahead.
No, carry on.
I was waiting for a message from Barry. I know you are very tight schedule, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to swing by and say hi. And do you have any plan? I mean, I'm open.
Nothing's planned yet. We will. There will be time to. We will make time to meet and fit you in. Definitely. I know Barry's going to be there to meet us when we get off the plane at 2:30, and then we're going to kind of hit San Francisco area before going to the hotel later on. So yeah, we've got a couple of weeks yet. So I'll make sure that Barry gets in touch and organises, and we can get a little mini kind of meetup of the tribe of tea and poetry, together. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It'd be great to see you.
I am so looking forward to this event. Whatever easy for you. I finished my doctor appointment actually at 2:30, and I can be there. If it is easy for you, I can meet you at the airport.
I think we're going to come into San Francisco because we want to kind of San Francisco. Sorry, the Thursday is the only day I'm going to get to kind of be in San Francisco. So I'm sure we want to kind of see a few places and be out, and then the Friday. I'm going to be kind of catching up with rest and then getting ready to do my keynote speech on the Friday evening. Saturday is when the kind of conference in the daytime is going on, so I'm going to be busy then. And then Sunday, we'll be kind of getting up and checking out and going straight to the airport to then fly back. So it's going to be. Yeah.
You're leaving on Lufthansa also via Frankfurt on Sunday?
No, we fly. From I think we fly back United, I think, or it's American. I'm not 100% certain.
Okay.
We fly
whatever easy for you. Whatever
via Heathrow on the way back.
Okay.
So straight back to the UK by Heathrow.
Whatever easy for you, we can meet in the evening for take you guys for dinner, or if you're tied up on the time, I can meet you at the airport for a short period because I'm actually very close to the airport. 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think we'll arrange to meet kind of late afternoon. I think by the time if our flight gets in at 2:30, by the time we get out, it's going to be kind of 3:30. So I'd say early evening, 5 somewhere like that. Meet up.
Okay.
For maybe a bite to eat, some drinks or whatever. So yeah, it'd be great. We will organise it and we will make sure that happens because I'm really looking forward to meeting you too.
Wonderful, me too. So I will wait for some more detail, and Barry, I did send him my number.
Definitely, and I hope, as I said, this is going to be the first of many trips out to the West Coast. The last couple of years, every time I've been out to the States, it's always been events on the East Coast, and I've always wanted to get back to the West Coast. I've not been out to California since 1998. Was the last time I was there, so a long time ago. I think I mentioned before on Tea and Poetry, my sister lived for the best part of 20 plus years in a place called Sunnyvale, just near Cupertino. and I've still got family there. My niece lives in San Francisco, and I've got a nephew who lives in San Diego as well.
Oh, wonderful. That's a long time. It's a lot more crowded right now compared to 20 plus years ago.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, and I'm really looking forward to getting out. I never forget my first. I've been to San Francisco a few times, and I'll never forget the first trip I had to San Francisco and just really fall in love with the place. It's one of my favorite places in the world, and yeah, it's just beautiful, and I love I just love flying in to SFO and seeing the bay there as you kind of approach, and yeah.
I
can't wait.
totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. The most beautiful city.
Yeah, it's a magical place. It's a magical place. And if anyone's never been to that side, and I can't really, I can't recommend it anymore. It's, one of the things I'm trying to do at the moment is get an idea of where I want to go in that very short space of time on the Thursday. Obviously, we're going to go to the Golden Gate Bridge.
What's your really desire? Is it more the bridge or Chinatown or?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Fisherman's Wharf is a bit kind of too touristy, but Chinatown, definitely. It'd be nice to take a cable car ride. Obviously, the Golden Gate Bridge. I want to read some poetry by the Golden Gate Bridge. So yeah, there's gonna be some really great memories made and some visual memories made for me, which is something that's very precious.
Yeah, Fisherman's Wharf, it is dead after 6 or 7 in the evening. Maybe I would recommend if you can catch a ferry from Fisherman's Wharf, take the cruise under the bridge and come back to Fisherman's Wharf. That's just to happen on the ferry. It's an hour ride or an hour and a half.
Yeah, with the time scale, I don't know exactly, because as I said right at the beginning, with our body clocks are going to be kind of way ahead time wise. I don't know how long we're going to last before kind of really, getting tired. I think there'll come a point where we'll just want to get checked into the hotel and get our heads down and trying to acclimatize before a very busy day on the Friday. But yeah, I do want to try to make the most of the time that I've got on the Thursday to Chinatown's definitely on the cards. Golden Gate Bridge is definitely on the cards.
So what I would recommend really then, head to Chinatown right away, because again, it closed down after 6 or 7. And then from there, Barry can drive to the Golden Gate Bridge, get a fresh air from there, walk few minutes, and you get the breath of it, and you can, the view, maybe by the time you get there, it will be night. You can see the best view at night.
Beautiful.
And then you head back from the Golden Gate Bridge to Twin Peaks, drive up to Twin Peaks, which is beautiful. And it's all like one circle. You don't have to go back and forth. And from Twin Peaks to go down to Embarcadero, I can meet you at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. What an excellent place to relax. Just
sounds
the
great.
lobby. It's beautiful, and you don't have to be a guest there. I don't think it's a good place to eat because it's not really, there is so much variety outside.
I think I'd like to kind of maybe grab something to eat in Chinatown. So yeah. We could just meet there. That sounds great to me. Hopefully I'm going to get an opportunity to come back in the near future and spend a lot more time. There'd have been places I really wanted to go to that I haven't been for a while. I really want to go to Big Basin, which I haven't been for quite a few years. I used to live up there with the redwood trees, and I can't wait to spend more time in California over the coming months and years.
Well, next time, make sure you make, I know you're tied up on a schedule, but I mean, for a long trip like this, at least 10 days.
Absolutely. It's just because of what it is with this event that it is kind of just a fly in, fly out thing. But we are definitely going to make the most of it. That's great. Yeah, I'm happy for you that you need to get away after all what's going on. So yeah, absolutely. But listen, once again, Philip, thank you very much, and I really am looking forward to seeing you. I'm going to send you back because we are kind of pushing on. I want to share. We've got 15 minutes left. I can't believe the hour's virtually gone already. I'm going to attempt to see if we can bring a couple more people on. I'm going to share some more poetry, and I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to ask you to mute yourself if you can do that,
Okay.
Philip. And then I'm going to share a piece of poetry, and then
Thank
see.
you, and have a good night.
Thank you, Philip, and see if anyone else wants to come on before we end. Let me see what I'm doing. Someone speak then. Hi, who's that?
This is Renee. Can you hear me?
Oh, Renee, there we go. Hey, it worked. Finally, thank you. How are you, Renee?
I am well, thank you. I wanted to go back to the first poem that you read, and I found it to be really interesting in talking about the invisible disability in terms of our blindness, but more importantly, how the unemployment rate is going up and we can contribute. And I thought that was interesting because I'm in the process of, trying to go back to work, but feel like there isn't much I can really do, with being blind. And not many, companies are wanting to hire blind people. So when you read your poem and about how we can contribute, to society, and help with the unemployment rate and prove ourselves that we can do more than what people think, I thought that was just very fitting. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's something that's obviously I went through it, Renee. I when I was first diagnosed and was declared, as it is in the States, legally blind, or as it is here in the UK, they call it severely sight impaired, which is the kind of the top rate of low, blindness, legal blindness. I was applying for jobs that I was experienced in, suited to, could do standing on my head. And the minute I told them about my sight loss, there was phones put down on me, there was excuses made. And, I very quickly realized what a lot of people, not just with low vision and blindness, face, but disabilities in general face because of that lack of education and lack of awareness. So that was kind of the catalyst to doing what I do now as being the blind poet, and kind of finding my own way of making something for myself, doing something that I'm passionate about. Luckily, I found this ability to speak through the poetry that people could relate to, and it's led me to many opportunities now, working with different organizations and speaking at events all over the world, like this one in San Francisco in 2 weeks. But the 75%, the rate of unemployment in the States, and it's pretty much the same here in the UK as well, and it is just down to lack of education. And when I spoke about this a few weeks ago, when I kind of touched on it, what I said was that people need to realize is that for a person that has a disability, whether it be low vision, blindness, whatever, what you actually find with those people in more cases than not is actually they are more determined because of their challenges, and stronger because of their challenges, and an asset. They're not a liability to an employer, they're an asset. And we need to educate employers and organizations more on this. So that's definitely something that is part of what I do now, and the organization and non-for-profit that Barry has started, the Rnib Chesapeake Lighthouse. That is, one of their main remits is to tackle that unemployment rate within the sight loss community by educating people more. So yeah, really good point. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Was there anything else you wanted to say, Renee, before I send you back, or?
No, sir, I am done. I'm going back to mute. Thank you.
So before you go, Renee, whereabouts are you based? Where do you live?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, you're in South Carolina. Beautiful. One part of the states that I've not been to yet, but I hope to visit there in the near future.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Renee.
Bye.
So I'm going to share a couple more pieces of poetry before we finish off. We're kind of, almost there now. We may have time for one more person. So if anyone else would like to come on and say hi or just say something or ask any questions of me, which you can, please raise your hand. Before I do that, I'm going to share with you a poem that I actually just wrote today. And I shared it on social media. And it's funny, when I get the ideas to write poetry, I could be anywhere. And this particular piece of poem, I had the idea to write it as I was walking to the gym. I've been back at the gym now the last couple of days after kind of having to stay home and be off with Austin while he had chicken pox, and then while I was ill, like the 2 weeks before that as well. I kind of been off, so I wanted to kind of get a final push of trying to lose a few pounds before I come to the States and eat my body weight in seafood or good food. So I've been training hard, the last couple of days, and I'm going to be in the gym every day now till I go over the next couple of weeks. But as I was walking to the gym, I gone to take my son to school, and I'd used my cane all the way there. And the way my vision is now, because of how much it's dipped recently, I now use my cane everywhere I go. And I've spoke about this over the last few weeks about making that transition that we all, a lot of us out there have experienced, or we might get to at some point, where we are in the in-between, where we're trying to come to terms with our cane, and we'll use it in some places and then not use it in other places. Or sometimes I'd kind of just walk around with my cane folded up in my hand and then open it when I needed to and use it. And then when I didn't, if I was in a familiar place or with people that I knew, or it was somewhere quiet, I would kind of fold it up. And sometimes I'd do that because it was just easier, because I didn't need to. And other times I would do that because I wanted to, as I put it, take a break from blindness and just not have people look at me with the looks that we get from time to time. But recently, because of my vision being the way it is now, I've found that I actually use my cane pretty much everywhere I go. So as I was walking to the gym today, I wanted to kind of write about that and write about how actually it's made me more confident. I do feel sad about it, that my eyes have got to this stage where I need it all the time, and my central vision's now going, and I'm finding things hard to read on screens, and I'm going to have to do the switch soon of where I'm using voiceover more than I already do, and lots of things like that. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to kind of confront and change, but I wanted to kind of, talk about this in a really positive light. So I'm going to read you this one. Today, I used my cane all of the way there and then back. It's not often that I do this, due to confidence I lack. I battle with my pride. I try to hide that I can't see. Sometimes I hate the way that people stare whilst judging me. I felt like I'm a fraud because my sight is not all gone. Try not to look them in the eye, the flaw I focus on. But not today. The way I feel is now's the time for change. Replace the anxious feeling with new confidence exchange. I'm not prepared to waste another day behind my door. My demons I have faced, embraced my fears, and I am sure that sightless cannot take the vision here inside my mind. I'll ace my greatest challenges. By this, I'll be defined. Today, I used my cane all the way there and then home. I know that you can do the same. No, you are not alone. There we go. So that was written today. And I'm sure there's a lot of people. In fact, when I posted it on social media, I was getting messages all over from people just saying, I really needed to hear this today. I understand exactly where you're coming from. And it's really inspired me and encouraged me to want to make the effort to use my cane more. And that's exactly why I wrote this. Okay, we are almost at that time now, and I can't believe how quick it's gone, really. I'm just going to check to see if there's anyone else with their hands up. Oh, we have Doreen. Are you there, Doreen? Can you unmute
I'm
yourself?
here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear. It's so nice to hear your voice, Doreen. I know you've had a busy few weeks yourself,
Yes.
and you're doing some amazing things as well. I need to get onto social media. I've not spent too much time on Facebook other than posting poetry. I just kind of go on, post a poem, and then come off. But Amy was telling me there's something you put out, and you can please shed some light on this and tell everyone where there's an opportunity to vote for you. Is that correct?
Yes, I entered, it's a yoga contest, and the winner wins $10,000. And what I'm going to do with that is I'd love to open up my own studio and not charge a penny and teach yoga to the disabled, the blind and visually impaired, people with PTSD. And if you don't have a disability, I would encourage you to join free of charge and help the people to feel good about themselves like I do. And every vote counts, and I'm not in it for the money or the glory. I just want to win so I can do this.
Well, listen, I'm going to share the link on my social media and all my pages, and obviously vote and get everyone I know to vote. And next week, because obviously the technical side I can't really do without Barry, I'll get Barry.
Yes,
to share the link. I'll get Barry. Yeah, absolutely. I'll get Barry to share the link with everybody here, so everyone here can vote for you as well, because what you just said there is a reason. There couldn't be any more reason to vote for you other than write that, and that is just so that's just so typical of you, Doreen, and what I love about. Oh yeah,
Well,
definitely.
you inspire me every week, every day.
Well, it's both ways, Doreen. It's both ways. So
Thank you.
I can't wait to obviously for anyone that doesn't know, Doreen sends me pictures and messages and e-cards and inspirational quotes every single day, and you've done this now pretty much for 2 years. Yes. Every single day. We wake up to it every morning. Doreen's up very early. And
3:30.
Yeah, you are. And I love it, it's a part of our day, having your messages there, and it really kind of makes me think and inspires me and pushes me on as well. So yeah, I can't wait to share with you, all the exciting things that are going to be happening over the next couple of weeks as well. And we've got more to come too. We had some I had an inquiry come in today. Barry's not here, so he can't tell me not to speak about it. But we're going to have a call. Yeah, we're going to have a call next week with an organisation that is doing an exhibition at a museum here in Manchester and touring the UK, and they want to feature me as part of this museum exhibition about my love of music and how it influences my poetry. So that's going to be a really cool thing as well. So there's lots kind of going on in the background and more stuff that I really can't talk about at the moment that I'm sworn to secrecy, but I can't wait to share all this with you as well.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you, Doreen. And I can't wait. Listen, I need to get back to Rhode Island soon. I need to get back. Yes. I miss Rhode Island. that next trip to Rhode Island is going to be the one. I cannot wait, but we're going to get on it. We're going to get on it. Okay, I'll get you to mute, and I'm going to finish off with another piece of poetry before we end. And I think I've got something here pretty special. Before we go, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who comes every week, when we do Tea and Poetry, and shares this hour. I hope you are all inspired by the words and continue to kind of spread the word about Tea and Poetry. And bring more people on. I've got Yeah, I've got a couple of pieces of poetry. There is one particular one I want to read. I'm just going to find it now. Just bear me 1 second. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to dedicate this one to Doreen. But yeah, I know everyone's out there is going to relate to this one. So this one's for you, Doreen.
Thank you.
Every day I try to say that as my eyes decline, I refuse to lose myself by blindness not defined. I lead by this example, show this battle can be won. Inspire my community, my daughter, and my son. For if they do inherit this, my passed down faulty gene, they'll understand their value from the things that they have seen. They'll know their limitations are not set by those who speak about the things they couldn't know, disabled, far from weak. Yet I regret the moments that I wasted in those days, consumed by isolation, shrinking tunnel, blur and haze. I should have been more bold to hold my cane instead of doubt. I should have opened my front door and let depression out. But eventually the way I see has made me cherish more the times we spend together. In my mind, these memories store. So if you catch me gazing, please don't think I'm feeling sad. I'm just soaking in the here and now, feeling proud to be your dad. No, blindness didn't rob me of the beauty of this life. It made me see with clarity my children and my wife. It made me recognize these eyes aren't all there is to me. There's more to life than fading sight or disability. So if one day it comes your way, you face your blindness test, I know that you will find your way to make your life the best. My legacy in poetry will be a hand to guide, a voice within the darkness, knowing me, you can confide. Okay, guys.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us again for another week of Tea and Poetry. I will see you next week for the penultimate one before I head off to America and for this amazing trip. But next week is going to be talking about World Poetry Day, which is next Monday. If you have a favorite poem of mine, please share it on social media, tag in The Blind Poet, and when you do a hashtag, always make sure that you put a capital letter at the start of each word. So you go capital T, capital B, capital P, The Blind Poet. And yes, so share some poetry next Monday for me, please. And then next Wednesday we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about the upcoming trip to America and the Rnib Awards, which I'm going to be suited and booted for, and heading to London for a very cool and exciting night. And there's a couple of little surprises. Well, actually, there's a really big surprise for that Rnib Awards, which I've not told you about yet, but I'm going to be able to maybe talk about next week. But we'll let you know soon. But thanks again for joining us in Tea and Poetry. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and see you next week. Take care.
Thank you for watching Tea and Poetry, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Join us live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. A big thank you to our sponsors, the Lanny D. Chesapeake Lighthouse and the Low Vision Shop. If you enjoyed Tea and Poetry, please invite a friend, like, share, and subscribe.